Big shout out to Hey, it's Emily Love, Yakko Mode 11 TTV, and Joe Johnson 490 for the latest follows. Stay tuned. Brickyard 200 Gears Freaks up next. Welcome, everyone, and good evening to tonight's Pepsi 200 at Daytona International Speedway. But first, before we do anything else, let's see what happened last week on the episode of Gears Freaks Brickyard 200 style.
Look out, there's a fucking yard sale in turn one.
Welcome everybody to the Brickyard 200 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Here we go! Brickyard 200 Gears Cup Series.
Yeah, so thanks for taking me out completely. I really appreciate that.
Oh, teammates smashing each other.
I'll just push you. I'm gonna need to pass.
Wrecking.
Never mind.
There is a car reversing in turn 3.
Hey, Paul, can you check my right front to see if there's any damage there? I just ate the wall.
No, I'm fine, man. I'm fine. Did you?
Wait, what? What was that?
Man, what are you doing, dude? We're 3, man.
Trey, I'm glad you started in the back. It was nice for you to pave the way for us to come up.
I expect money in my PayPal after this race.
I don't know why you're trying to block when I'm going to your inside, dude. But that's what happened.
J.J. Moore is going to win the Brickyard 200 for the Gears Cup Series.
Good race, everybody.
Good race, guys. Good win, JJ.
And there you go, J.J. Moore, your winner, getting win number 1 on the season. Again, thank you for joining us. I am Tom Torrey, a.k.a. The Horse Boat, and welcome to the program. Bring you inside here, as tonight we have a wonderful race inside the booth at Daytona International Speedway. Looking down high above from the MeetYourMom.com blimp cam on this wonderful, wonderful night of Super Speedway racing. Again, this is the Gears Racing League pre-race show, getting you ready for what's to come. And we've had a lot of crazy stuff happen. Last week we had a 50-lap run towards the end, a few cautions in the beginning, but it was great. It came down to fuel strategy, and a lot of guys really having a good time. But enough of my beautiful face. Let's look at the point situation. We're going to go into slide 1, which I call 2024 point standings. Brickyard 200 winner again was J.J. Moore. Ethan Burrell in second place, with third place Alex Tilley. As you see right now, as you take a look, Brad Gutierrez is your points leader overall with 940. 17 points back as Peyton Howell. He'll quickly fall there. Van Drugman technically taking over there in second with 28 points behind. Connor Rowe, Josh Cole, Sean Anderson, Justin Shute, Mike DeWalt, Jonathan Evans, Alex Tilley, and Skylar Comstock. All right there in that top 10. But let's simplify this. Big shout out to the boys in the Gears media team for making this happen. Showing you the playoff picture. Highlighted in green here, they're in. They're already ready to go. They are advancing in to the playoffs. But as you can see, we still have about 9 more spots to give. And in that white area, which I call Gears Purgatory, is Connor Rowe, Josh Cole, Justin Shute, Mike DeWalt, Jonathan Evans, Alex Tilley, Skylar Comstock, Keaton Salyers, and Jonathan Militia, all sitting on this proverbial no man's land, trying to sneak in. A win would help them as we edge closer and closer and closer to the playoffs, with about a month away being Michigan. So it's really getting down there already. Daytona is a good spot to get that done here tonight. Just outside the bubble, you see Kyle Munson, Travis Stroney, Andrew Allen, and Tyler Wooten, all of which could make it. But they need a little help. They need a bad placing by the people above them, and they need a good finish. And what better than to do it here at Daytona? Again, taking a look live above Daytona International Speedway here on iRacing. The best and brightest come here to the Gears Cup Series, to the Gears Racing League. Jonathan Evans right now the fastest in practice, with about a minute to go before qualifying. We'll get you out there on the track here shortly. Again, I can't stress enough, going into tonight's race, if tensions weren't high at the Brickyard, it's definitely high at the Pepsi 200. Again, 80 laps you're going to have here for this event. Again, no stage breaks or anything like that. We don't do that anymore. No fast repairs here. You have 3 tire sets. Max fuel capacity is 70, and we are using the Daytona 2011 oval setup here. Again, it's a fixed setup. We don't use custom setups here, maybe yet, question mark. I don't know. That may come out here in the future. Factor Mike says 52 drivers, 40 cars will qualify on time, or qualify in on time. We have no charters, no people promised any spots here whatsoever. So we have 52 drivers, they said, technically joining the race tonight. That means 12 drivers are going home. So the Gears Cup Series, a big deal when it comes to super speedways, because that is some of our best racing that we have. Now, initial start will be on the green lights, and all subsequent restarts will be in the restart zone. And the in-sim restart zone rule is on, and we expect the leader to launch within the Geico restart zone on the front straightaway. Now, the winner of the Pepsi 200 will receive $50. Second place will earn $30, and third place will earn $20. Thanks to Jonathan Militia and Mike DeWalt. Both, again, Mike DeWalt, part of Rocket Racing, and Jonathan Militia, a part of Road Soda Motorsports. Both are putting up this prize here tonight. So big shout out to those guys. Again, Factor Mike in the chat, and Militia 43 if you run by him. Let's get ready here now for qualifying. Let's get you down to the track and see who the hell we've got. Let's go with one of the race sponsors here coming out of pit road. Looks like Jonathan Militia as he is getting up to speed. Mooresville, North Carolina native. And one half of the sponsorship tonight for the Pepsi 200. Got that OnlyFans Coors Light Classic scheme here tonight. Kicking it back. Let's turn up the audio here. Kick up the jams, if I may. Turn up them iRacing sounds. Again, hopefully you guys are having a beverage, guys and gals, and enjoying your Friday night, venturing into the weekend. Again, getting towards the end of July, it has flown by. I say it every week, and I mean it every week. That time goes by too fast when you're having fun or working your ass off. Big shout out before as well, Militia, who's driving right now, resubscribed for 5 months in a row. He has subscribed for 11 months total to this program, and I can't thank you enough for being a good friend, supporting the stream, getting that ad-free viewing as well. First time comes in for Jonathan Militia. It is going to be a 49.53. Puts himself on the pole for the moment. As others begin to clock in, James Bowles with a 49.55, Bonilla with a 49.56, and Nathan Fuller with a 49.57. Militia yet to be unbounced. We are in for a treat with your pole sitter. Nobody has overtaken him yet. And let's see if that continues to be the case. Min Hang with the 49.49. Tyrone Reed 49.52 in the 773 machine. Let's see if Militia can make it even better than the first. Coming around, crossing the checkered line. Start finish line, excuse me. 49.62, not going to be fast enough. But is going to put himself inside the top 10, I would imagine, safely. Everybody's going at once, so let's see who we can find out here. Mike DeWalt taking over the pole with a 49.46. Paul Wilkins, 49.48. Let's jump over to them. Oh, they've already completed their laps, and they are done. Maybe we should have kept our ass at home. Kendorian Davis, winner of Pocono in the Sprocket Series. 39th on the bubble for his second lap. Let's see what he's got in the old tank ski. Couple notable names possibly not making this race. Kendorian comes across the finish line. Kendorian puts himself securely up into 7th with a 49.49 for the 67 car. J.J. Moore's second lap of 49.51, keeping himself alive. Justin Vandermerel looks like he is in 46th with a 49.59. Yeah, looks like he's done. Keaton Salyers in 40th. Travis Stroney, 38th. But a couple notable names going home tonight. It looks like Devin Lucan, Ryan Robertson, Trey Holmes, Nate Williams, Floyd Stewart, Justin Vandermerel, Matthew Weeks, Terry Fennell, Nick Wood, Robert Fitzpatrick Sr., and Zach Duche. Let's see what Christopher Pugliese with 49.99 coming around for the lap number 2. But a lane up above that yellow line. Let's see what he does. Gets the checkered flag, putting himself into 38th and making the show. I don't know what happened to the connection there, but he made the show. Wow, and he barely made it. He barely made it on time. So again, a lot of notable guys going home. We'll see who joins me in the booth. I'm thinking I might get... Yeah, I figured. Let me turn on your mic here. Hold on. Nate Williams, you got a copy.
I do.
Welcome to the booth this evening. I know you said you're not drunk enough and you didn't make the show, but it's competitive out there.
Very much so, yeah. I just didn't run fast, apparently, so here we are.
Yeah, and that will happen as we'll bring in for the pre-race show. Qualifying is over as we're getting ready for the Race of Shame. That'll be a 4-lap Race of Shame. But here, talking here with Nate Williams, joining me in the booth tonight, apparently my sidekick and partner in crime, not only in the broadcast, but in drinking. Drinking Old Smoky from Gatlinburg, Tennessee, in your homeland of Tennessee. Enjoy me a nice pecan here tonight. I did. It's pretty nutty, though. Like, I don't mean even to be funny, but, like, it's really, I don't know, kind of, nah. It's all right. It's all right. Oh, there we go. That is good. That is good.
And it looks like I might be the only one actually willing to get on track for this Race of Shame here.
Hey, win the Race of Shame. You don't win anything, but at least you can win something. You won the Race of Shame. You could be the least shameful. Right. Yeah, the least shameful of them all. Again, hats off to everybody. Hopefully you're having a good evening at home, enjoying what is your Friday night. Or for Paul Wilkins this Saturday morning. Whew. Again, Pepsi 200, drinking Pepsi.
Ooh, I can make a Jameson and Pepsi. That's what
You
I'm
should.
gonna do. I'm gonna do that.
Oh, we got Tyrone. Tyrone, I don't know if did he make the race. Let's get him in here. Tyrone,
What's going on with you, brother?
what is going on? Did you make the race?
Yes, I made a race, man. P18, baby.
P18. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man.
I mean, I know it's really like this is really your first official race in gears. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much ain't got too much of a game plan, but I got a couple people out here that I can work with and stuff like that. Just pretty much keep it clean. I know it's going to be a couple big ones or whatnot, so try to get past all of that and just be there at the end. As long as I got a car that can take the white flag, I call it a good race in my books.
Now, Nate, I don't know if you're still with us here. If there's a piece of advice when you can give to Tyrone as far as gears super speedway racing, what would it be?
There's too many numbers to tell you to watch out for, so stick around to like the 8 car. He'll be quick, but you got to watch out. He'll probably dump somebody. 9 car will be
Wow.
quick, but he'll probably get dumped. And then 48, if you follow his strategy, you'll have a shot at it if he doesn't get dumped early.
Yeah,
A lot of dumping.
Yeah, the boys that I'm going with, the ones that I know, I know parents, so I'm gonna be going with him, and I'll know Paul, so I'm gonna be working with those two.
They'll definitely be quick. Just hopefully we don't get too aggressive too quick in this race, because I think that'll be the main issue.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's what I'm worried about the most. Now, as far as fuel, when you guys went out there to practice at all, was there any talk of or what is the fuel out there generally to speak of, and what could you possibly save?
Well, I didn't jump out there into practice, but usually when it comes to saving fuel, my strategy when it comes to super speedway racing is just to ride in the back. Once it's time to go, it's time to go. But usually I can save about 2 laps to 3 laps on everybody else. But if the whole field comes in there or guys that I'm wanting to work with goes in there, then of course I got to go in there with them. So
Oh, sure. Yeah.
that's somewhat of a game plan.
Once you commit,
In
you're in it.
my practice runs, I was managing to get about 25 to 26 laps out of a fuel run, just going full throttle, no draft. So I think if you really tried, you could stretch it to 30, but it just depends on how many cautions we have here.
Okay.
Again, to give everybody a little bit of perspective, we got 80 laps tonight, so you really don't have to try to get up there right away. I mean, if you're fast, be fast. I get it. It's a super speedway thing. If you're fast, you're fast, and get up front, do your thing, but you don't have to push it. A lot of these drivers, on the contrary of what Nate was telling you, a lot of these guys are really solid super speedway racers. Some of these guys are just younger, and they don't understand the running of pace, I guess. It's a soccer term, right? Pace.
Right.
That's thing they're still learning and trying to understand. There are too many numbers to tell you, but we have a lot of good racers, a lot of good competitive super speedway drivers. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you, Tyrone, out here for your first official Gears race, a shot and winning some cash. And yeah, I hope you have a good ride.
I appreciate it. I'm trying to bring this bad boy home clean. If not, bring home the steering wheel.
When in doubt, bring home the steering wheel. Tyrone, we'll let you kick it with us here whenever you're ready to go. Just let us know. Again, Race of Shame still going on. Nate, are you running that by yourself?
I am completely alone coming into turn 3 here.
That's
about
hot.
to win it.
That's hot.
Yep.
Race of Shame winner live here in the broadcast booth.
It's probably a first for you, ain't it?
It is definitely many firsts here this season in general. But yeah, there he goes, taking home the checkered flag. He's gonna do his donuts of shame. Yep, there he goes. I don't know if you guys see that in your screen, probably not. But here we go. They're getting ready to warm up and go green flag racing again. Only 3 tire sets, so the set you came in on and 2 extra sets. Hopefully we'll have good green flag racing, which amounts to fuel strategy. Again, I know you could probably go a whole race on a set, maybe 2 sets. But you got to keep that third one in your back pocket. A win tonight for some of these guys in the points race is paramount. This is important. We'll bring this back to you one more time so you can see the playoff picture as they get ready for green flag racing. Van Drugman already in. Perrin Huggins in the 8 car already in. The 84 Brad Gutierrez in. 34 Brandon Meyer in. 13 of Sean Anderson in. 48 of Matt Albert in. And the 98 of Jake Hall also in. Highlighted in green in that Gears Purgatory, we're going to call it. You got Connor Rowe, Josh Cole, Justin Shoup, Mike DeWalt, Jonathan Evans, Alex Tilley, Skylar Comstock, Keaton Salyers, and Jonathan Militia. A win would highlight them green and get them in for the playoffs. Again, we are 5 weeks away from that point, and the last race being Michigan to get in.
And I'll point out that Connor Rowe has done an amazing job this year of retaining points. He is, I believe, 111 points away from locking in on points. So if he has a great finish here tonight, he has a possibility of only being about 5 to 10 points away next race from locking into the playoffs on points alone, which is essentially unheard of here.
And that's huge. That's huge. Connor Rowe has been a solid force in that number 5 Old Spice. You could say that scheme is getting a little stale, but he's making it work and showing up every single week. Again, 80 laps coming up here shortly, and we will walk the grid as soon as everybody's ready. Again, Pepsi 200 sponsored by Jonathan Militia and Mike DeWalt. The winner getting $50 here tonight. Second place 30 and third place 20. If you're not employed, this is a good night for you. But again, tonight just adds a little extra flavor, a little extra for that winner and the effort, because Super Speedway racing, again, in a flash, it can all be gone. And you can say that for any race, but Super Speedway racing especially. Again, Daytona coming up, our final oval race here, but in the first part of the playoffs. And while they're warming up, let's get you a little bit of that. This music is wild. So again, Daytona International Speedway for the Pepsi 200 at night here tonight. Next week will be New Hampshire. Week after that will be Canadian Tire and Pocono Raceway. And then you thought it was over. It isn't. Again, August 23rd is going to be Michigan International Speedway, roughly a month from tonight. And then the playoffs begin at Nashville. And then we have the Daytona Road Course and Talladega Super Speedway. All right, 80 laps about to begin. Tyrone, we'll let you get back to it, man. Where would you like to go? Do you have a lobby of choice?
Or
do you want to hang here? You can. You can.
I'll just hang here and then just I'll just mute myself. Then under caution or something like that, I'll just unmute myself.
All good. Appreciate having you as always, Tyrone. Good luck in your race here tonight.
Thank you much.
Again, Nate Williams in the booth with me. I am Tom Torrey. Take your pick in the chat of who do you think is going to win tonight's race. We are just about getting ready to get underway. Getting ready to do the grid walk here shortly. Again, tonight's Pepsi 200 sponsored by Jonathan Militia and Mike DeWalt.
So, Tom, do you have any cars you're looking at, any drivers you're thinking might be able to take this one home?
Well, if I had to pick anybody here tonight, my person I think of choice, I gotta say the pole sitter, Mike DeWalt. I mean, he's had rough luck all year long. Nothing has gone his way, but he's still been able to maintain in the points and stick with it. You know, I know that kind of sounds corny for me to pick somebody that I know, but I think Mike DeWalt, of everybody, I think he can get it done here tonight. What do you think, Nate?
I think Mike is definitely a good choice. I think he's had a real bad run of luck lately, so if he can turn that around tonight, I think that'd be huge for him going into the playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, if Tilley can grab a win here, I think that would be huge to change the dynamic of the playoff bubble right now. And he has shown talent recently. He's been picking things up. Just on a weird strategy pick, 48 Matt Albert is always somewhere on fuel mileage here at these tape tracks.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember back in the day, the OG Gears guys, they all remember that he could just be randomly a lap down, and then 50 laps later you're going, wait, who's winning? Huh? what? And it's just
Yeah.
because he just managed to save fuel and just beat you on pit road, and it was always just insane. So
Nate?
watch out for him.
Nate, you and I sound like homers, but that's okay. It's Super Speedway Racing. I think everybody is good to go home. Let's walk the grid because I think everybody's ready. Walking that line here is Mike DeWalt and Paul Wilkins in row 1. Row 2 is going to be Jalen Handcamp and Perrin Huggins. Nathan Fuller, Brad Gutierrez in row 3 with Ken Dorian Davis and Skylar Comstock in row 4. Row 5 is going to be Min Hang and Connor Rowe. Jonathan Evans and Jeff Gilmore make up row 6. Row 7 is Brandon Meyer and J.J. Moore. Matt Maglia and Andrew Samford make up row 8. And row 9 is going to be Sean Anderson and Alex Tilley. Tyrone Reed and Jacob Delgado back in action in row 10. Tyler Curley and I think Militia. I don't know what's going on with the field right now. We're going to go Jimmy Ensley, Tyler Curley, Caden Dietrich, Joey Berge in the 78, David Tucker, Ethan Burrell, Stephen Gurley Jr., Andrew Allen, Matt Albert, Josh Cole, Logan Morris, James Bowles, Michael McCammett, DeBoyne Valentine is back after a hiatus. The 55 of Christopher Pugliese making the show, and the 57 of Jordan Powell. Blake Schneider in the 38, or excuse me, in the 6, marking the 38th spot. 39, Travis Stroney. And last but not least, in the quick set, Cat 31, Chevrolet Camaro, and back, Johnny Bonilla. Again, getting set to go green flag racing for the Pepsi 200. Ready. I've been waiting all day to get this one going on. Again, following the race, we're going to have the College Football Dynasty Team Draft following the Pepsi 200. Gears College Football.
That'll be fun to tune into. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, I will already be inebriated by then. Mike DeWalt's going to lead us off to the green flag start of the Pepsi 200. Here we go.
Inside line's not giving up. It's good punch there. They're sticking right with him. And you got any bets on when we get our first caution here?
I'm saying by lap 5, we might have one. Outside, inside, doing all right.
Got a couple of people dropping back. That's a pretty smart choice there. And it looks like Perrin's already making a move for the lead.
Perrin Huggins to the inside for the lead. Has Paul Wilkins pushing from the behind, but Jalen Handcamp. Again, this is the Gears Cup Series, and this is the Pepsi 200. Mike DeWalt leading lap 1.
Yeah, that outside lane is just going to keep getting runs off the corner as long as they're formed up over there. Looks like they've got a couple of really good pushers up there as well.
Riding on board now with the 34 of Brandon Meyer. Andover, New Hampshire native. Running inside the top 10 to show you a little bit what the chaos is like up front, and a big bump from Perrin Huggins to Mike DeWalt.
And everyone's still moving around just trying to get settled here. Got 80 laps, so there's a lot of time left to just sort of figure out where you want to be. I think some people are still trying to find teammates and allies here.
Looking at Tyrone Reed, started in 18th position, now moved up to 14th in that Grand Theft Auto machine. Trying to give the great state of Illinois a shout out at Daytona.
I gotta say, I actually am a big fan of that GTA 6 car. That thing looks pretty sweet.
It's hot. David Tucker in that golden mobile number 4. Riding that outside line, looking to catch the back bumper of Nate Fuller. Again, side by side, 2 by 2. Nobody getting crazy. And we are in lap 4, Nate.
I'm honestly a little shocked. I was not expecting us to get this far. But it seems like a lot of people have learned to calm down a little bit and just take these long runs. And it looks like the outside lane is disintegrating. Oh, and as I say that, they're all moving up from the bottom.
As we just...
They're going around Mike DeWalt.
They're going to let Mike DeWalt out to hang.
Massive checkup. We got a few people stuck in the middle.
Again, teammates working with teammates, and you can clearly see that happening. Friends of friends, people who have driven with each other, following each other. The loyalty is paying off early for some of these drivers.
And they are getting aggressive up front. A lot of moving around.
Slicing and dicing like I'm cutting an onion, but I'm not crying. We are 5 laps in to the Pepsi 200, and a Pepsi-sponsored car here, Skylar Comstock. Very sexy Pepsi ski. Getting a bump, or giving a bump to the 84 of Brad Gutierrez. Brad, again, 2-race winner. Running inside the top 5. Again, trying to make that outside line work and leading the way. But Perrin Huggins in the 8-3 Chi Weed Machine giving you a sense of his aura. Again, a classic Kyle Busch scheme. Instant classic once it was premiered. A very hot scheme. Connor Robousing.
Yeah, there's still some shuffling toward the middle of this pack here. And the 84 and the who was the 28 car there, they've shifted down. They're going to try to lead the race here. I wonder how much support they'll get from the 11 car. And wow, big blocks happening.
Big blocks again. Never mind. Moving on. Gutierrez with the lead.
Perrin's coming on that outside though.
Woo!
Keep it up.
Paul Wilkins giving a push almost to no return. And guess who's near the front? Don't look now. It's Nathan Fuller and Tyler Curley. Tyler Curley going to make it 3 wide. Why the hell not?
Fuller's going to just go ahead and take the lead of that bottom lane. Let's see what they can do here.
Nathan Fuller in that all-white 24. Trying to make that low line work with Gutierrez, Skylar Comstock, and Paul Wilkins. Perrin Huggins lane blocked as best as he could. He's going to hold off Curley for a lap, but Curley making it work on that outside, Nate.
I think Curley's just going to try. Oh, nope, he's going low. He's got JJ Moore in support. I think they're going to try to take the inside line to the front here. They're leading now. Outside lane seems to be slowing down a little bit. I think they've lost most of their... Oh, and ooh.
Oh, wow.
Little battle between the leader of the front bottom lane there. They are split up. We got 3 lanes here.
We lost signal just for a millisecond during that exchange. When we came back, it was Harry. Oh, hitting the outside wall. Looks like...
We got James Bowles inside of Perrin. Looks like James is going to take the lead for this lap. This has been some intense racing up front.
Yeah, Michael McCammon scraping the outside wall in 3 and 4, able to maintain momentum. James Bowles is up here now. You have Perrin Huggins, Michael McCammon, David Tooker going to the inside. I say McCammon to the inside. Brandon Meyer says, I am out. To the bottom, below the yellow line. He wants no part.
I'd like to point out Ethan Burrell in that 14 car, 3rd in row in the high lane. A Gears OG, he was here last year, has missed most of this year, but here he is coming back, 2nd race this season. He's running strong.
Now, I was truly disappointed when he left, because he was one of those guys who was like, man, this guy is a really good driver. He's entertaining to watch, and a guy that I think a lot of us value in this league.
Oh yeah, he definitely kept the energy up, always kept people engaged. It's great to see him back, and it's good to have him back. It was definitely sad to see that he wasn't going to race at the start of the year, but glad we can get him back in here, and he's racing really well. He brought the energy back.
Absolutely. Big fan favorite. Aeroplane 9001. Me, Joseph Enright, and missed the start by 2 laps, it seems. Oh, man. I am sorry to hear that, and I just looked at my chat probably after like 20 minutes of not looking at it, so I do apologize for that. That is a bummer. But Baron Huggins is your leader.
First time Enright has missed a start either. I think he does it every week.
Well, shit happens when you party naked, and I completely understand that.
I'd like to point out Josh Cole leading the bottom lane now. He's sticking to it. Somebody who doesn't get a whole lot of screen time. Usually he's caught up in some things, but he's having a good run so far. Let's see if he can hold on to it.
And that is going to lead us into our first Loose and Loud of the evening. Sponsored by Jonathan Militia and Mike DeWalt. We're running good. Let's get a Loose and Loud on right now. back now, lap 18 of 80. We're almost a quarter of a way through this. Again, Tom Torrey I am Tom Torrey. Alongside with me is Nate Williams. Nate, again, thank you so much for being my Larry Mack here this evening. We're getting close. We're getting close to pit stops. When do you imagine these boys are going to come down to pit lane?
It depends on when your strategy is coming to play out here. If you want to do a 3-stopper, you can pit on lap 20, 40, and 60, even everything out. I don't think anybody's going to do that because I don't think that's really sound strategy right now if that's just running green. In my solo runs, I could get about 25 laps out of the tank. In the draft, if you're able to save mid-pack somewhere, I imagine you could stretch it to about 30. But I'd say for especially like Perrin, who's been up front the whole time, he's going to be running low about 24 to 26. So I think lap 24 is going to be when our pit starts. That's when our cycle will start. And it just depends on basically who you're in alliance with and when they run out. I think it's all just management right now.
And 19 laps in, all of them green, no caution to speak of. I don't want to Joe buck them, but I am fantastically proud of the Cup Series and the entertainment they've been able to bring here so far tonight. Again, Perrin Huggins, your leader, with David Tucker, Ethan Burrell, Brad Gutierrez, and Skylar Comstock, your top 5. You have Nathan Fuller, J.J. Moore, Joey Berge, Michael McCammon, and Tyler Curley. Rounding out your top 10, riding along now on the hood of Tyler Curley, a guy who's been a part of some controversy lately, but seems as though he wants to put it all together here tonight, at least so far.
Most notably missed out on the win at North Wilkesboro, getting his final 2X to be disqualified while crossing the finish line.
That was amazing.
Which ended up in a disqualification, not a win. I think that'll be one of the all-time Gears moments right there.
Yeah, definitely in my top 10 for easy.
Curley's definitely had some strong runs though, and I don't think he's won. I think that was his one. That's the closest he got. But I think he's trying to point in the playoffs. Let me double check that.
I mean, I could take a look here for you real quick while we're chit-chatting.
Right now.
And he is not in that playoff picture as they show it here on your screen here quickly, and we'll get back to it. But he's just outside of that. I know that much. A good finish here tonight would help. A win, hell, might even put him in.
He is technically on the bubble. He's below the cut,
right,
but he is technically on the bubble still.
Right. That's what I thought when points came out last week. Again, we can show you that here in just a moment as these guys are driving around, give you a little bit of the points where he might be. Actually, he's not even on the top 25 because of last week, so we're not even going to bother at this point. What I want to point out,
single file, I wonder if he was going to try to start anything before the pit cycle goes, or if it's just pure management until we get out of the pit cycle.
I am hearing from Race Control, lap 28 is the strategy so far for most of these drivers.
That makes sense to me.
So let's see who can make it go a little farther. Again, you got to play that time game, right? If you stay out while everybody else goes in, how much time are you really getting on them?
Yeah,
vice versa, how much are you gaining?
Especially here, it really depends on making sure you get a really clean and good entry and exit, and you get a solid pit stop. The undercut can work sometimes. It just depends on how many people spread, how the drivers spread out, and how many people pit in their different sectors, basically. Because if you pull off with 2 or 3 guys, and they still got the whole pack going, you're going to lose out on that undercut. But if you pull off and on the next lap they all split and they turn into 3 different packs with all the different people pitting, if you have a 2, 3, 4 car group that you get in and get out and you're already back running by the time everyone else gets stuff figured out, you'll probably come out with an extra 5, 10 spots, and you might get lucky and be leading here for a little bit. So you just have to try to manage that with the risk of, are we going to just go for it? Are we going to try to save? it can get kind of crazy here, and it's frankly at this point in the race with just us going so green, I would just wait till the leader said something. Just whenever most of the field goes, I'd go, all right, I'm just following for now, because I don't see the point in trying to take an alternate strategy yet.
No, again, yeah, like you said, we're 24 laps, going to be 25 laps in this thing. You know, Parent Huggins has led most of the way. Everybody minding their P's and Q's. But again, I'm with you, Nate. If the leader goes and the majority of the field goes and we're close enough, we are definitely going. We are definitely going, hands down, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. To give you a little preview here of the top 5. If you haven't seen it, Parent Huggins, David Tucker, Ethan Burrell, Brad Gutierrez, and Skylar Comstock in your top 5. Nathan Fuller, J.J. Moore, Joey Berge, Michael McCammon, and Jonathan Militia rounding out your top 10. Again, money on the line here tonight. Playoff eligibility on the line tonight. If you are in on races, and Nate, is it 18 races you need to be a part of?
18 entries.
18 so quote-unquote entries.
To qualify for 18 races.
So you have to qualify for 18 races. Doing so gets you qualified for the playoffs as long as you can point in or get a win. And I know a few of these guys in the top 10 would love to have it. Big shout out to Atronio following this minute, bringing up 410 followers. Go Michael, number 75. Michael McCammon, a guy, and let's give him some TV time because I'm a big fan of this guy. Keeps the chat, the Discord entertaining. The Kernersville, North Carolina native, the Moose McCammon, running in the 75, having a good showing here so far.
And the 8 car is pulled off. He is pitting. He is pitting alone. That is a death sentence for Parent Huggins right now.
Parent Huggins taking maybe what is the walk of shame down pit lane all by himself. And we have a caution.
We have a caution.
Logan Morris all looked kind of crinkly. Let's back that ass up. Oh yeah, we have hot action. Let's play it live here, see what we got.
Oh shit, yeah.
And it looks like somebody checked up a little bit, and it looks like Miller High Life 97 of Logan Morris and what appears to be,
I believe that's Ryan. No, that's Andrew Allen.
Andrew Allen in the 88. Jeff Gilmore. Yeah, as you said, Jeff Gilmore
in the 77, Andrew Allen in the 88, and the 97, who I'm blanking on the name. Logan Morris. That's what it is.
Let's ride on board with Andrew Allen and see what the hell happened. Looks like checkup to the 10th degree. Not sure, really. We'll back that up again. Was it the 2 cars in front of them, or what do you think here, Nate?
I'm honestly not sure yet, but there was a checkup. Whoever that red car is was just slow. Let me figure out who that is. Jimmy Inslee, for some reason, is just slow up high. And the 77 just gets into the 97 and just sort of dumps him. Then the 88 gets kind of collected in that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think if that's what I think it is, that, let's see, hold on. Of course I can't find the number, but that is unfortunate. It looks like everybody will be okay, but it looks like the 77 has a little bit of damage as far as to that right front toe link.
Yeah, 97's got some damage to his rear bumper, and the 88 unfortunately got a good bit of side body damage there.
And that is unfortunate, but I think that saves Parent Huggins, to be honest with you.
I believe so. I think he stayed on the lead lap because I don't think he actually pit. I think he just straight up drove through and came back out.
Yeah, and I think that saved him there. It might have been a fatal death blow. Looks like Let's Go Jimmy 53 from Official Exotics. Thank you for hanging out here with us here tonight. We're going to pin that for you.
Well, this
I'm
caution
able
has
to. What
saved
the hell?
everybody from trying to figure out what their pit strategy is going to be. So I wonder how aggressive we're going to get when we start going green here.
Yeah, everybody on hopefully fresh fours, if not a full tank of gas. David Tucker looks like going to be your leader. Started 25th, now up near the front with Ethan Burrell, who started 28th and now on your front row.
Now, I am curious how many drivers are actually going to take 4 tires or even 2 tires in this first stop. Because here at Daytona, the tires last forever. I mean, I can run 80 laps on one set and be fine.
Right.
They have 2 extra sets to switch to, so I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it or not at this stage in the race, personally. I'll be interested to see who actually takes any.
I mean, if they did, it wouldn't hurt. But again, if you didn't, it's not going to really hurt you either. Super Speedway Racing, especially here at Daytona, you can make it on one set if you really wanted to.
Well, it's also just, especially with everyone's going to need a full tank, so it's going to be a 12-second pit stop no matter what. I mean, 10 seconds for a full tank of gas. So right side, you're getting them with no time extra. If you want all 4, you're going to maybe add a second to 3 seconds, depending on how good your pit crew does.
I'm
Let me see what Tucker does
Hold
here.
on. Let me get it in the booth here. Hold on. I think I got somebody that could tell us what happened here in that last exchange. One moment.
Well, I'm seeing Tucker didn't take any tires.
Hold on a second, Nate. Logan, you got a copy?
Yeah.
Quick question for you. You are in the booth with the horse boat, a.k.a. Tom Torrey. Thank you for joining us here. I know probably involuntarily. What happened there? We saw a bunch of checking up. Was that what you saw in front of you?
Yeah, pretty much. I felt like I checked up a little bit, and I think it was Jeff Gilmore that got to my outside, and yeah, I got hooked, I guess. So.
Well, that is unfortunate. We just kind of were trying to figure out what happened there, and all we could tell was possible checkup situation. But Logan, are you good? Are you still able to go back green flag racing?
Hopefully, I got 29 seconds of required repairs, but yeah, hopefully, it's a long race still have to go, so hopefully we'll be there at the end.
Sounds good. Well, Logan, thank you for joining the program. I'll get you down where you respectively need to be. Again, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That was the 97 of Logan Morris. Again, part of that accident that you just saw.
And it looks like the 14 of Ethan Burrell won that battle off pit road. I'm not sure exactly, but I think the 8 car here might retain the lead through just sheer force of will, I think.
He is going to take over the lead. And taking over the lead here tonight after the Pepsi 200 is the College Football Gears League Dynasty Team Draft. Again, Draft Live following the Pepsi 200. Again, we're going to end this program and then start it back up with some football action. Again, finding out who the 17-team league will be out of the 32 open. We got, I guess, what, 12 open spots? I don't know. I can't count right now. We have some open spots here left for the league, but right now or tonight, after this race, you're going to find out what teams, who's going to be who, and we'll find out after that. Again, college football for the Gears Cup Series. Again, Gears College Football 25. I totally botched that, Nate. But you know what? We're moving on. We're moving on.
All right, 8 cars choosing the high lane here. Not surprising, but that puts the 14 car down low. And he's got David Tucker right behind him, followed by J.J. Moore down low. I think that's a really good combination of pushers, and I think I see Fuller down there as well.
You do.
Yeah, Fuller, followed by Mike DeWalt. Goodness, there's a lot of really good pushers, really good linesmen down there in the bottom lane. This is going to be a very interesting restart, I think. Because outside you've got... what's his name? I'm blanking so hard. Perrin Huggins. Yep, that guy we've been talking about all night.
What is wrong with you?
Comstock, Brad Gutierrez, Joey Berge, Jonathan, Jalen Handcamp. I saw a beer scheme and just immediately went to militia. That's not good. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. A lot of good drivers up front here.
Lots.
Light green here.
A lot of good drivers.
guessing your internet went to shit.
Looks like it's good now as we get back for green flag racing with Ethan Burrell and Parrot Huggins on the front row. Good stutter at a perfect time.
I mean, get it out now.
Yeah, get it out now. Thank you for making that apparent.
We are green.
And we are green for the Pepsi 200 again. I'm proud of our guys. Almost
They're doing
30
a great
laps.
job so far.
Green flag racing, that was good. And then the crash that it was minor, wasn't huge. The big one still yet to come. And we almost get it right here.
Whoa.
With Brad Gutierrez, Joey Berge, and
Joey
JJ Moore.
just managed to fit in there. They immediately left Perrin out to dry. Not a care in the world for how he handled that. And Burrell and Tuker are already taking the high lane, trying to hold it.
And the sponsor,
Comstock, Gutierrez, Berge, rolling down low.
The sponsor of Skylar Comstock and the Pepsi 200, the sponsor of this race, unofficially speaking, don't want to get sued for that. Come across the start-finish line, has led a lap. RGR in the house with Brad Gutierrez, two teammates leading the inside and the outside line.
I wonder how committed they will be to a plan, or a plan if they can get somebody else up here.
Plan. If your name is not Dan, get the hell out of the can. I don't know where I was going with that, Nate.
I don't know either. I'm just letting you run.
But that's what it could mean for RGR. Again, RGR has been a tough team all year to deal with. Very good drivers, all very skilled.
Very much so, yeah.
Carvana, Brad Gutierrez.
And of course, Brad, two-time winner, so he's clearly shown some talent. He's put up a fight just about everywhere he's been.
Brad Gutierrez, a guy that I think is... I don't think he's not so much a sleeper as he used to be. Sleeper no more.
Yeah, definitely not a sleeper anymore. It took him about half a season to wake up, but he's here now. He's not hiding anymore.
I think that race that was called back, that he won, lit a fire under his ass.
Atlanta, yeah,
that's what it was.
That win was taken away from him because of a incident limit black flag.
You gotta believe that lit a fire, and if it didn't, I don't know what could.
Yeah, you lagged all the way through that, but yeah, for sure, Tom.
Cool.
Looks like the inside lane is just slowly dying, like it did on the last run.
Tough night for the internet service provider. Holy shit.
Well, you know those busy Friday nights, everyone's trying to stream their, pornography for their, swimmer parties.
Why would you say that? Oh, man. This is Wisconsin. Like, what? I don't get it.
A lot of Swiss cheese videos.
Yeah, whatever. Almost halfway home. Internet in and out like Swiss cheese. Apparently Wisconsin's in and out like Swiss cheese. According to Nate. Nate, we gotta get you to Wisconsin one of these days.
Oh, I've been before. Made the drive in
Alright.
13 hours flat. Stopped once for gas.
Let's come up here. You got a camper? Come on, camp out. Come on and camp out. Outside line working for Brad Gutierrez and company.
This little 3-car run of Comstock, Berge, and someone else who I can't
JJ Moore.
Yet. JJ Moore? Yeah. They are flying right now. And that might have been planned with the 84 and the 28.
The 69 out like a chipmunk to the inside line, getting pushed out of his proverbial home with
And
nothing.
Berge and Moore not giving up easy.
good, not great, but we are back here. Joey Berge leading that lap, I believe, making that two-car tandem work with J.J. Moore.
They're getting more support. Inside lane is coming back. Comstock went up top and then instantly just the run died up there. It's coming back a little bit here.
I never come back around 4 there. It looks like the 9 of Mike DeWalt now picturing or coming into the picture. Picturing a victory again. Pole sitter for tonight. Oh, Tyler Curley from the outside to the inside.
Big move there.
Back there, what, in 20th?
It's close to that.
Get this man a soda. Or a Tide Pod.
Tide Pods, people, don't bring that back. Die of eating cinnamon like a real man.
Joey Berge, J.J. Moore, Ethan Burrell, Jonathan Militia, and Skylar Comstock, your top 5. Brad Gutierrez, David Cooper, Aaron Huggins, Nathan Miller, and Mike DeWalt, rounding out your top 10.
And I think that outside lane might be slowly dying here. I think the inside lane might become dominant.
Well, look at who you have down at the bottom. Perrin Huggins, fast driver. Mike DeWolf. Paul Wilkins has put on a strong showing so far. But here we go.
Curley's threading the middle.
Wreckfest champion of the world, Tyler Curley. Taking it 3 wide, taking it where every non-competitive person has gone before without any help. Maybe Jonathan Bonilla, but I don't know if you want it.
And I forget which commentator said it, but one of them coined a term. They're in the sucker hole, and just got dragged back till he found an opening there.
Yeah, and that's definitely what happened. Joey Berge has led the way the last few laps again. Halfway home for the Pepsi 200.
Halfway here, only 1 caution. We've had some really crazy racing up front, really good hard racing, so really good showing from these guys so far.
Yeah, I cannot hate whatsoever. These guys have put on a great show. Again, highlighting what Gears does, I guess, some of the best with Super Speedway racing. Again, top splits. A lot of people were talking today that they couldn't, you know, maybe keep it green for more than a couple laps. We went almost 30 laps. So I don't know what that says.
Well, if you go back to our last plate race at Talladega, we got, I believe it was 75 laps.
Whoa!
First caution.
Joey
Holy cow. That outside lane just made a massive effort.
Again, apologize. Whoa, we got 4 wide. Just
There's
for a brief
chaos
moment.
In the back now.
Pure chaos going on right now. Looks like
Berge in the wall.
Berge slaps the wall.
Kept it
Courtesy
straight.
of Ethan Burrell. Looks like Jonathan Evans is going to pick him up. But Skylar Comstock, your leader right now. But to the inside is Min Hang and Tyler Curley leading the way. And I think Curley led that lap, Nate.
I believe so. And that outside lane just made a huge run and then split. And everyone who was running high up in the order on that low lane is now somewhere in the middle back there.
Person who we haven't talked about much this evening, Jordan Powell, in the 57.
Curley with a confident lead here, being pushed by Min Hang, and I believe that's Jonathan Bonilla. Something we haven't really seen tonight. Outside lane is trying to reform now. They're trying to make an effort.
Yeah, again, Jonathan Bonilla not eligible for the playoffs, I don't think.
He just got off of a suspension.
I thought that was Delgado.
Is that Delgado?
Yeah,
that is
33.
It's up to 31 and the 33. But either way, Bonilla has not been here for a few weeks, so I don't think he's anywhere within the picture.
Yeah, I don't think so. But who is Tyler Curley and I believe Min Hang. Both were partners for a brief moment. Now have parted ways from the inside and outside line. And I do believe iRacing is having a little bit issue from what I can tell. But, oh well, we're going to keep it right here. Min Hang to the inside with James Bowles looking to take the lead.
And I'm seeing Min Hang is not in the playoff picture. He is something like 400 points out.
Oh, we got problems!
Holy cow!
We got problems, and we finally got the first big one. Oh, mama, let's back that ass up for the Gears Instant Replay as they're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, let's try to find out what happened then. I'm hearing drivers calling in the in-race chat, and yes, that is a bad push from Curley.
Tyler Curley putting McCammett in the wall and causing our first big one, second caution of the night. Let's ride on board.
Contact. Curley was doing 190, 188, and that was just a hard hit to the rear right, and that just took out the field.
And it looks like they got a run from the inside to the outside, but had enough time. McCammett, I think it was just a bad push from Curley to McCammett, taking out James Bowles. We are going to have a lot of salty feelings, I believe, in the chat here pretty quick.
I believe so.
And we'll look at it one more time. I do apologize for the issues here a little bit with the connection. Try to do better by you here soon. Hopefully our fiber comes through soon enough. Again, as you see from the blip, Paul giving a good push there. Tyler Curley not so much. And the chaos ensues.
Crazy incident out of nowhere right there.
And you know who makes it through miraculously? Mike DeWall.
Well, that's probably the first bit of luck he's had in, I think, 6 weeks here, 7 weeks.
Oh.
And Sand448 in the chat, my teammate, that's expected from Curley.
Ooh.
I have no comments there, sir.
We're not going to get into that. I don't know if that was malicious. I don't think it was. Let's be real.
Definitely not an on purpose dump, but definitely a bad push, and I think he could have squared it up a little better, but at the same time, when you're doing 190 down the backstretch and you're just trying to keep everything going, it's real hard to really just make sure you square up all those hits because you've been running crazy all night and everyone's been holding on to it, so you have no reason to think they can't.
Right. No, I chalked that up just to an incident. Really nothing more than that.
Yeah, to me that's just plate racing. Just bad pushes happen. I mean,
it's like Ricky Stenhouse. He's really channeling his inner Ricky.
Honestly,
right
lately it's less Ricky Spinhouse and more Brad Keselowski, who is an absolute menace on road courses and plate tracks. As much as I love the man, he is a menace.
Sam says I'm messing. It's funny. It's okay. I think it's okay to say it. Curly's had a run, which I think he'd like to forget. But at the same time, he's trying to establish himself here, and I can't put it on him. I can't put it on him for that. He's young.
Yeah, he's definitely had some incidents in the past couple of weeks that he's been at fault for, but this is one that I'm pretty sure is just a racing incident.
Absolutely.
And it's just angles don't line up for you.
Who is going to pit and who is going to stay out? Looks like everybody's going to pit.
And it's like we're past our half. We're not till. There's still going to be one more stop after this. Well, actually, honestly, if you pit now, top up on the next time by, and you save, I think you can technically make this if you save. Like, you gotta go really slow and make sure you really dedicate yourself to saving. That might be interesting if somebody tries it.
Well, you can think Alex Tilley and Travis Stroney. I know we haven't talked about them very often or much here tonight, but both have taken that really backseat strategy, if you will.
Well, I don't know if they meant to pull out.
That's what she said.
Under the initial green flag run there, or if they were caught in some incident and just lost the draft, but they've been out of the pack and off strategy this entire time, so it is to the point now where that might be an advantage if they've been able to stay on the lead lap, which I am able to check, actually. So now's the time for alternate strategies to really come into play. Start trying to make your decisions here.
Yeah, it looks like Jonathan Evans is going to be your leader here, coming back to green flag action. Mike DeWalt, Paul Wilkins, Perrin Huggins, Jalen Handcamp, Matt McLeod, Min Hang, Blake Schneider, Connor Rowe, and that 773 of Tyrone Reed. Again, Nate Williams alongside me. I am Tom Torrey. Again, apologies for the issues tonight with the connection. We are working on that. Probably working on that more over the weekend. We will not get into details on how.
All we need to know is your ISP is shit.
Yeah, but yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
Okay.
Again, looks like a couple guys going in to top off.
One of them, Jonathan Evans, pulled out from, I think, what was supposed to be the lead there.
Looks like Jonathan Militia says bad luck.
Jonathan Militia was given a EOL for a pit road penalty there. I believe a couple of people pit under a closed pit road.
Oh, you suck.
7 and 024 as of a closed pit road.
Again, Jonathan Militia made it known he sucks. In the 69 Coors Light OnlyFans machine. Again, just giving him a hard time because he got wrecked. Well, sorry about that. I don't know what to do. College football next week here on Casa de la Horseboat. College football draft up next. Maybe some games broadcasted, Nate. I know you might like that.
Maybe.
Again, we'll see. But Mike DeWalt looks like now is going to lead it, with Paul Wilkins and Perrin Huggins, Blake Schneider and Tyrone Reed, Kendorian Davis and J.J. Moore, Stephen Gurley and Christopher Pugliese, and then looks like Skylar Comstock all rounding out your top 10 there. Big shout out, Christopher Pugliese started 38th, now worked his way up into the top 10, Nate.
That is honestly impressive. He was fighting to keep his lap at one point.
And his computer.
I would like to shout out Blake Schneider in the 6 car, Whiskey Business Motorsport driver there. Hopefully he can get a good run here.
He's a biased ass, but loves his teammates. Give it up for Nate Williams back here, coming off of turn 4.
Hey, you gotta show him support where you can.
I
man.
know. I'm.
And pace car is off. Let's see what Mike can do here.
Holy cow, Militia gifted a Tier 1 sub to Golden X Days. Thank you for that. Mike DeWalt, I'm all excited. And off he goes with Perrin Huggins behind him as we get back to green flag racing for the Pepsi 200. Again, $50 to the first place winner, $30 to place number 2. And to third, you get a solid 20 spot. A good Andrew Jackson never hurt anyone on a $20 bill. Mike DeWalt, Paul Wilkins, Perrin Huggins and Paul Wilkins, your top 3 for the moment. But that outside line is now cooking with Blake Schneider and Tyrone Reed.
Up to block it. Tyrone shoots low. Kendorian Davis goes high.
Militia, I don't know if he's trying to get up to that top spot in the subcategory, but he's now in 3rd. Almost there. Mike DeWalt to the outside of Perrin Huggins. 2 Chevys leading the way. Perrin Huggins, I believe, got credit for that lap.
Yeah, that looks correct. I just wonder if the outside lane can get their stuff together here and get running and just run that momentum.
2 by 2 as they go down the backstretch, riding on board with the 76 of
And we are
J.J.
3
Moore.
wide back for like 30th place for some reason, coming out of 2.
Oh, good Lord.
They seem to have settled that out a little bit. They're getting single file.
All right, as we were on board with multiple drivers trying to figure
And
out.
Tyrone shifts high. Paul Wilkins shifts high in front of him. They're going to try to leave Perrin down low.
Again, Tyrone Reed, long-time watcher of the program, and vice versa. First official Gears Cup Series race. Happy to have him on board and a part of this action.
There's no way this is his first race.
This is his first race. No, he hasn't. This is
crazy.
His first official points race. He's been in recruitment races. He's hung out with us in the booth.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. He's been in the booth for a couple of races. That's what it is.
And
I'm like, he's been here? What are you talking about?
No, he's been around. No, he's a good supporter of the league. And I consider him a friend. I think he's a good guy. I think for the racing community, man, he brings what we need.
Definitely, definitely.
The vibes are good when you're riding with the 773, but your leader right now is Scotland's greatest oval driver of all time, Paul Wilkins, in the Shine number 11 Chevrolet Camaro.
Who, if I have my time change right, I believe it's 2 a.m. with him leading the race right now in his local time.
That is right, in his closet, in his hometown in Scotland. Running
and the
his
inside
ass
lane
off.
is dying a slow death with Perrin tapping the apron out of 2 there.
Yeah, that
lane is
was
gaining more
unfortunate.
momentum on them.
You got Wilkins, Reed, DeWalt, Schneider, and Davis, your top 5. And the rest is 2 by 2. Again, last week's Brickyard 200, that was a great race. Solid run by a lot of these guys. This week, Daytona, I know a lot of these guys who didn't have a good run at Indy were really looking forward to this race. And you see some of these drivers now appearing towards the front of the field again. Pit strategy could come into play here with fuel. They could save. They may run out. There's a lot going on here. But here you have the wrecking ball, 43.
Holy, and we got a caution here. We've got a caution.
Fuck is a goddamn
Looks like the 27 got turned by somebody. Or Joey Berge. I think he's actually in the 78.
Let's back that out.
Let's go investigate that.
Instant replay. What do we have here? Right on board with the 14 of Ethan Burrell and see if the magic happens right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's ride on board with Bonilla. Looks like the 78 of Joey Berge, as Nate mentioned here. Let's see what happens.
To me, it looks like Gleese got a little loose off the corner, runs a little high. Yeah, 78 catches some of it and just gets forced across the nose of the 67 there.
I think that's just a racing deal. I don't know if it was the draft. You know, I don't know. It was 3 wide there. I think Gleese. Yeah, a little bit banging doors with Berge. I don't know.
I think some of it is just a reaction from Berge.
Yeah.
And he just once. I think it's also a little bit of netcode between Berge and Kendorian Davis there. That once that turn starts with the quarter panel hitting the front bumper, there's nothing you can do anymore. It's just gonna go.
Yeah, it looks like Pugliese and Curley bang doors, and then Kendorian Davis finishing the job, and then chaos ensuing behind. Looks like most cars were able to get out of the way there. Looks like Burrell getting the minimum amount of damage there, but getting put back probably farthest without really getting involved. But Paul Wilkins, your leader here in our 4th caution of the night. The Pepsi 200, again, brought to you by Mike DeWalt and Jonathan Militia. Again, $50 to the winner, $30 to second place, and $20 to third place. Thank you so much to both Militia and DeWalt for the contribution, supporting the Gears Cup Series and supporting the Gears Racing League. And caution number 4.
3.
3?
Caution number 3. Lap 25, lap 45, lap 54. All in all, still a pretty good race. We've had a lot of good racing up front. Had some good battles so far. A lot of guys are still in this. And I mean, you got to know Daytona is kind of the big track for a lot of people when we're sending home 12 guys. If we have 52 people try to qualify, I mean, that's our largest showing in a long while.
Sure, sure.
So it's good to see that. We still got, it looks like 32 people on the lead lap. I'd say, I think 35 people still actively racing out there, so...
I wanted to bring in now a couple of guys. Looks like we have the 85 and I believe the 78 of Joey Berge. Joey Berge and James Bowles here in the booth. Let's start with James. Again, your incident, very unfortunate for you. What do you have to say about all that?
Clearly the 43 made a bad push, wrecked my teammate, and in turn my teammate gave me a bad push during mid-spin. You know, I tried diving it down low to the apron to avoid it. Just got loose, and unfortunately Maine was kind of up on that inside line of me, and thought he was gonna check up a little bit for me, but we just both had him in the middle, and I just ended up wrecking myself as the leader.
Sure.
It's a shame. I mean, it's a shame.
It is a shame. Are you done, or can you come back from that?
No. 60 minutes of optional, and it's just a shame that I'm not gonna say who to blame the who, but it's
Sure.
pretty obvious. Who the the person that caused that has been a factor this whole night. So and thankfully Michael's still in the race, so if Michael get back in this thing with a good finish or even a win, I'll be very, very happy.
Yeah, I mean, again, 85. Again, James, I like your car. I love your energy. You run a good race. Besides all that, anybody you want to give a shout out to with my crappy internet doing what it's doing?
Hey, my internet was crap too, buddy, so you don't have to shame about that. Yeah, shout out to my teammates, Michael and Joey. I haven't seen Joey in a long time, so it was good to see him again. JJMR, Perry Paints from my paint scheme. That's about it, and hopefully where are we going next week? Sorry, I hit the wall.
New Hampshire is next week.
Okay, I hit the wall very hard, Daytona, so I forgot where we were going next week.
Concussion-like symptoms here for James Bowles. That is the 85. James, thank you so much for hanging out and giving us a piece of your mind here tonight.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey. It is Joey Berge caught up. Yeah, definitely top tier. Joey Berge getting involved there at the last incident. Joey, what happened? I mean, we saw it a little bit. I think Pugliese, it was totally accidental, nothing malicious, of course. But it looks like he banged in you a little bit. Banged into Curly, whoever in front of you.
Nah, it wasn't really anybody like that. I mean, Tyler, the 43 was going through the middle kind of aggressively. I'll give him this. He was making it through, so I decided to follow him. Then a little aggressive off of turn 2, and then by the time I realized what was happening, I was about 45 degrees into the wall. So, yeah, it sucks. Not really the way I wanted to go out, especially the way leading a bunch of laps, actually being kind of competitive. But you know what? Whatever, man. We're just here for fun. Just hopefully we'll get him another time. I definitely know that I'd be able to win, so that's definitely going to be the goal now.
Joey, it was a pleasure to see you back here. I'm sorry that it ended up the way that it has. I hope to see you back here next week for New Hampshire, but real quickly, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to or a heads up?
Both Michael and James, obviously, for being my teammates. Kind of not technical teammates, but technical teammates.
Sure,
and also being able to deal with my annoying expletive, whatever. But yeah, whatever happens. I mean, it is what it is. It's racing. No fault to the 67 or anybody involved. It was just, like I said, racing incident. But we'll be back out once again at some point. Hopefully we'll be able to get that win. But right now we'll just worry about next race I show up to, and we'll worry about it from there.
You heard it first here from Joey Berge. Thank you again for taking a moment out of your day to join us, and I do apologize. We're speaking under these terms. Have a good evening.
Yep.
That was Joey Berge, Mike DeWalt, Stephen Gurley, Chris Pugliese, Blake Schneider, Jalen Handcamp, Nate Fuller, Mike DeWalt, Jonathan Evans, Tyrone Reed, and Paul Wilkins getting back at it for green flag action. Stephen Gurley leading us to the Geico restart zone. Let's get it on. Back at it. 23 laps to go for the Pepsi 200. Gurley trying to hold and block 2 lanes. Not going to be able to do it. Mike DeWalt to the outside with Nathan Fuller. Teammates working together with Tyrone Reed and Jalen Handcamp. And we have action.
Caution. Fuck is a goddamn caution for?
Paul Wilkins getting involved in that. And I do believe the 76 and the 55. So let's see what happened here. Pugliese hitting the outside wall. Looks like he was all right there. Again, another racing deal. Don't know how they're going to score that upstairs. But some residual damage on the back end. As you see another teammate getting involved, or another driver looks like there. Looks like that goes down. Check up. Maglia goes off screen. Pugliese getting hit. Stroni getting involved. And Ethan Burrell, does he make it through unscathed? Yes, he does. Great God Zeus 11 says, that ain't no racing deal. That green car needs to learn how to hold his line. And actually, I kind of agree with you on that. Again, it's from the booth. I am not race control. I don't make these decisions. But I respect that perspective. Let's back that up. Let's see what he's doing. The 55 of Chris Pugliese. And wow. Again, I know tonight, and again, no excuse, but again, looks like having trouble with his PC. Outside, looks like trying to give way a little bit. Hitting that wall just a touch. Yeah, that's just awareness right there. Lack of awareness, maybe.
Woo, what a race, boys.
Tyrone Reed hanging out with us. Tyrone, I know you've had a pretty solid run here so far. Give us your thoughts.
So far, everything has been, for the most part, contained. I had a couple little checkups that was quite questionary or whatnot. Kind of got a couple guys in trouble or whatnot. I was hoping more or less for a green pit stop, but we didn't get that though. But we're sitting here at P3 right now, so I mean, I'm trying to bring this bad boy home. I told you, checkers or records, baby.
Now, I know last week you were hanging out with me. We got that huge, long green flag run, which we had some interesting dialogue watching the playback. What's your strategy here now that you're in third? What are you going to do? Can you make it?
Yeah, I got enough fuel to make it all the way to the end, so we're good on that. A couple of these guys, 1 and 2, and a couple guys behind me until we get to about Perry. I don't think they can make it because they stayed on that last caution, and we was already cutting it close right there. But we're good to go. Unless we get turned to anything like that, we're staying out, baby.
That is the 773 of Tyrone Reed. You're looking at him on his screen now with the nice Grand Theft Auto. He's got Grand Theft Auto 6 scheme. Love
yes.
it. That is beautiful. That is gorgeous. Everything Grand Theft Auto 6 should be. Again, is that coming out next year? I forgot if that was the drop date. Was that next year or 2 years from now?
They say next year, but I heard from a couple of places that they say it might be pushed back a little bit. So hopefully still late next year, or maybe.
It to be right.
The initial release is Q3 2025, but in reality, it'll probably be summer 2026.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. As long as it comes out as cool as it's been leaked to be, I am on board with that. Wu-Tan says, let's go number 11, baby. Again, in the booth, Nate Williams, Tyrone Reed, our in-race reporter tonight. Again, always a pleasure when our paths cross. Thanks for making the time to make your first career start. You're running in third in front of, or behind, two Rocket Racing teammates with Mike DeWalt and Nathan Fuller. But I'm sure if you befriend them, you'll be just fine.
Well, I look at it like this. As long as I can hang around here and take the white flag lap, hey, after that, it's all games, baby.
It's all games. It is. Stephen Gurley, big shout out, who was a lap down earlier. Started 27th. Up to 4th place and maintaining. Another big shout out, as Nate mentioned before, Blake Schneider in the 6th. Started 40th. Now up in the top 5 in 5th. And then another most notable, Matt Albert in the 48. Started 31st. Now up to 8th place. Again, big movers here tonight, being patient. And ultimately in contention for the win. Again, when we go back to Green Flag Racing, we're going to be under 20 laps to go. And then following that race is college football 25 gears style. Going to have a team draft. Don't know how it's going to go, but we're going to have fun doing it. Again, Matt Albert in the booth, Nate Williams, and probably more. It's going to get wet and wild. And following that, we're going to follow Josh Coldstream showing off his new hot tub in his basement, checking out the hottest fashion lines and what he has to offer. Again, all following the Pepsi 200 tonight on Casa de la Horseboat.
It's absolutely not a proper segue, but speaking of fashion lines, how great is that Brayton Laster pit crew shirt?
Oh, man, I love it. I wore it to work the other day. I love it. People loved it. I wore it out golfing last weekend. People loved it. It's an interesting shirt, right? Pepperonis on the sleeves, little black olives.
I mean, it is the pizza man's shirt. I mean, it... And I was greatly surprised and very happy that with my purchase of a shirt, I got an autograph and 2 stickers.
Yeah, autograph and 2 stickers. Definitely Brayton Laster gives you the whole effect when you purchase anything from him. Again, go to BraytonLaster.com if you haven't been there. And it's a beautiful website.
Shout out to him. He's running the 06 ARCA machine at Salem,
yes.
I believe it is, tomorrow at 8 p.m. So
yes,
tune into
indeed.
that if you're available.
Looks like Mike DeWalt, Nathan Fuller going to lead us off with Tyrone Reed and Blake Schneider. Stephen Gurley and Jalen Handcamp's going to take up row 3 with Jonathan Evans and Matt Albert in row 4. And Perrin Huggins with the infamous Tyler Curley rounding out your top 10. And I think it's safe to say, Nate, I know you're in the booth tonight. Sometimes you're on the track. But I think Curley has kind of developed himself in a villain role, if there was one to be had here in the Gears Cup Series.
Certainly a Chastain from last year role. Certainly.
I like the attitude. I like the driving, but sometimes it just gets a little too much. Gets a little too much for me.
He's created himself a little role as he is the heel. Whether or not his actions on track are usually justified or within the realm of acceptability is another issue altogether. That's not for me to say here. But definitely building an attitude here in the league of just he is going to be the enemy, and you're just going to have to figure it out around him.
Mike DeWalt leads us down back to Green Flag Racing for the Pepsi 200. 17 laps to go. when we start the start-finish line, or cross the start-finish line.
And we've already got a wreck in the back. Let's see if they keep it green. They did not. Caution immediately.
Big crash. Earl, if you could, I had no idea what was happening
And
there.
cautions breed cautions, as Larry Mack would always say.
Very breedable at this point in the race. Can you give me a replay here? What happened to whom?
Looks like massive checkup in the back, and the 13 ended up getting turned into the... So this, I think, it comes down to a problem we've had all year here in the league of just people don't know how to pace or restart. They just get a little bit too jumpy at times.
Well, it looks like he tried to get up there towards the end real quick. Andrew Allen looks like got high. Anderson down. Got going. Big checkup with Bonilla. Pugliese again. Brandon Meyer. Oh, man, that is unfortunate. Looks like Tilly put him out. Excuse me,
Definitely
not Tilly.
Unfortunate.
My apologies, not Tilly.
I believe it was 73.
Yes, that is Andrew Sanford.
Yeah.
But again, that was a process of checkup. Yeah, Gilmore, Brandon Meyer, Pugliese. Again, Pugliese involved in that. That is unfortunate. Oh, excellent. Love the name, that bearded Jeep guy following us this minute. Thank you so much. Bring it up to 411 followers. That is much appreciated. Growing for our channel. Again, the Gears Cup Series, this is the home every Friday night. We are 20 races in of a 33 race schedule. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But we are getting close to the playoffs as these guys come back around. I'll give you a little look at what's left on our schedule. Again, next week we have New Hampshire for the Rock Lobster 200. 200 laps at New Hampshire in the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park 2 weeks from tonight on August 9th. August 16th, we have the Dundee's 250 at Pocono. And then last but not least, before the playoffs and the last dash for the cash, will be the Skoal 200 at Michigan International Speedway on August 23rd. Again, everything highlighted in orange is your playoff format, and we've broken it up into thirds. The first leg will be Nashville, Daytona Road Course, and Talladega, with Richmond, Auto Club, and Homestead, Darlington, Bristol, and then Gears presents the finale at Las Vegas International Speedway. Again, tonight's Pepsi 200 has been brought to you by, or sponsored, nonetheless, by Mike DeWalt and Jonathan Militia, putting up the purse for tonight. $100 going in the pockets of the top three. The first place gets $50. Second place gets $30. And third place getting a solid Andrew Jackson 20.
So if Mike DeWalt holds on to the lead here and wins, that just means Militia gets to send out $50 to people, and Mike just holds on to his 50.
Again, Tyrone Reed in the Grand Theft Auto 6 machine. Looks like he's doing the fuel mileage game, as you see his car rolling quietly in the starting up when needed to, making it on fuel and ensuring that he does. Mike DeWalt, your leader and pole sitter tonight, and my pick to win the Pepsi 200. Having a solid run, avoiding the proverbial storm, and keeping it real. And that DeWalt 100 years. Procter & Gamble Gillette number 9. Jonathan Bonilla getting the wave around. As we get back at it again, we are in the closing laps of this race. Following this race next week will be New Hampshire. That beer Jeep guy says, don't sleep on P3. He's pushing for the P1. There's a lot of cars out here. If there's one sleeper right now, Nate, that you haven't named here yet tonight, who'd you pick right now?
I'd have to go with my teammate, the 6 car. He's been quiet. He's just been chilling up there in the top 5 right now. But he came all the way from the back, has kept his car clean. I think he's in a position to do really well here.
Yeah, started dead last. Blake Schneider making it work for Whiskey Business Motorsports Racing. I apologize, Nate. I'm butchering that. Seymour, Indiana native. He's really giving it his all tonight.
And it's definitely been a very good race so far. A little bit caution heavy here in the middle, but looking back at our past couple of races, I went and looked at the trends here. Out of our past 10 races, we've had 6 that went to overtimes with an average of 1 overtime in those. So let's see if we can get it done in the scheduled 80, but I wouldn't be shocked if we have a caution on lap around 75 to 78. That forces us into an overtime scenario, but I think here at Daytona especially, if we get 1 overtime, we're going to be going to at least a second one.
Looks like Wu-Tan says Pugginator asking Puggins Alice alive. Fuller is trash. Wilkins, yeah, come on. Hell yeah.
Best advice I can give you, start drinking heavily.
Jay Hoffman, 19, following this minute. Bringing us up to 412 followers. Thank you for following the channel. I know what you're here for. Post-race for that college football 25. We'll keep plugging it until we have it go on. Again, 17 teams going to be selected here tonight. It's anybody's guess who's who. I don't even know. I'm not prepared. But we're doing this, and it's going to be fun. I guarantee it. I'm going to have a bunch of people in the booth with me tonight. We're going to hang out and have a good time. Again, shortly following the Pepsi 200, we will have the College Football Dynasty Team Draft for the Gears League. Again,
and that's definitely going to be a good time. We'll make that a interesting stream.
It definitely will be unfiltered.
I'm getting some internal information here. It appears a 31 car of Jonathan Bonilla is being removed from this race for taking more than his allowed laps back. That is major.
Oh, that is huge and a big no-no for the 31 Quickset Chevrolet. But no matter, Mike DeWalt, Tyrone Reed, Nate Fuller, Blake Schneider, Stephen Gurley, Jonathan Evans, Perrin Huggins, Jalen Handcamp, Min Hang, and Matt Albert rounding out your top 10, hopefully for the conclusion of the Pepsi 200 as they get into the Geico restart zone. And here we go, Chevy on Chevy action with a couple Chevys watching. And 2 Mustangs in the barn. We are back to green flag racing for the Pepsi 200. 12 laps to go. Again, $100 at stake between the top 3. Playoff implications on the line. Again, if you're in the hunt, no need to panic yet, but a good finish does not hurt you at all. Mike DeWalt does not have a win, and he is in tonight. Jonathan Evans, similar story, a win, and he is in tonight. Nathan Fuller, a win, and he is in tonight. We have a lot of drama, a lot of controversy, and we have 11 laps to go as we start to cross the start-finish line. Looks like Tyrone Reed getting hung out to dry in the middle. Going to find a home to the inside line and getting back at it as he's going to march his way back up to the front. 2 Rocket Racing teammates. Between Mike DeWalt and Nate Fuller, 1 and 2. Stephen Gurley hanging in there, hanging in this race, having a wonderful super speedway run in that patriotic 29 Punisher scheme to the inside. Trying to make something out of something.
The move in the inside allows the 48 to come up, and so it'll be a Rocket Racing 1, 2, 3 on the top lane here.
Rocket Racing.
Connor Rowe is not far behind. Oh, he's getting loose. He held on to it back there.
We're watching the onboard of the 48 Irwin Tools, Matt Albert. Again, your winner at Monza, the last lap move to make it happen.
Oh, no. Caution out.
Oh, we have Action Jackson.
And the 6 car, it looks like he just got dumped right there.
Nate DeWalt giving Blake Schneider some black magic. Oh, and it looks like Tyrone got in there a little bit. I don't know. Let's take a look.
I think that stems a little bit off of the 67 pulling up into the corner and just squeezing Tyrone in the middle there.
He did squeeze Tyrone into Blake Schneider. Min Hang able to get away with minimal damage, but the brunt of that is going to the 6 car of Blake Schneider.
That is unfortunate.
That sucks. I mean, again, like you mentioned, Whiskey Business showing out here tonight with the 6, quietly moving up towards the front. Kendorian Davis getting a little loose. Who's behind him there? Looks like Brad Gutierrez. Let's ride along with Brad to see what kind of played out here as we got, or as we ventured into that caution. Yeah, looks like Kendorian just tried to enter a little higher than what I think Tyrone was expecting. Not to speculate too much, but maybe. Again, maybe a good time to top off or get a fresh set if you got it in your back pocket. Maybe not. You stay out. You finish this thing strong, which I think most of them will do. Rocket Racing 1, 2, and 3 right now, with Mike DeWalt, Nathan Fuller, and Matt Albert leading the way, with Stephen Gurley and Jonathan Evans rounding out your top 5. Again, the only Ford in the top 10 currently is the 29 of Stephen Gurley, and the only Toyota in the top 10 right now, I must be mistaken, two Toyotas in the top 10 is Tyler Curley and Kendorian Davis.
And Mike DeWalt still holding on to this lead here. We've got a Rocket Racing 1, 2, 3 with Mike DeWalt, Nathan Fuller, Matt Albert.
Woo, that was crazy right there, boys.
That was crazy, Tyrone. Sorry, I'm doing a couple different things at once. Tyrone, you're trying to make it 3 wide there. Had a good run. From the replay, it looks like Kendorian kind of took it a little bit wider, and I'm not sure if you expected that or 3 wide. I mean, it was just getting wild there towards the end.
Yeah, I seen the guy behind me was about to work with me, so I was sending up through the middle, the high and the low side. They was pretty much in their separate lanes and stuff like that, leaving a big gap in the middle. And then when we went into turn 1, it was just a combination of the car on top of me trying to pinch me down a little bit, and the car below me not hitting the yellow line and whatnot. And something had to give. Something had to give.
Well, it looks like you're going to start this back in 9th place. What are your chances, do you feel, you have tonight to win this thing?
I'm still feeling pretty good. Got Perrin up here. He's a good driver. Hopefully, because I think we're going to start on the same row, so hopefully we can try to get up there to the front. Then once I get up there to the front, then it's all games, baby.
Tyrone again making his first start here tonight in the Gears Cup Series, having fun at Daytona with the GTA 6 machine. Thank you again so much for stopping in the booth and hanging out with us.
Alrighty.
And as Tyrone, I can almost relate by this message and this message alone.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums, getting all swollen.
And
now, I'd like to throw out an interesting playoff scenario here.
Sure.
With Rocket Racing being 1, 2, 3, the 9 car needs a win to be locked in. The 24 car needs a win to be locked in. But the 48 car of Matt Albert got a win already. So he is already locked in. So this race, he doesn't have any stakes in. He's good for the playoffs. And he's running 3rd right now behind his 2 Rocket Racing teammates. I wonder what the possibility is that he becomes an absolute Ryan Newman out there and blocks like crazy and keeps it to where one of his two teammates can win. I wonder how committed he is as a teammate in this moment.
We have to know, chat, if you're hanging out, if you're able to put a hand on a keyboard or on your smartphone, give me a number on who you think is going to win tonight. We need to know for statistical purposes. Mike DeWalt's going to start us in first with Nate Fuller, Matt Albert, Stephen Gurley, and Jonathan Evans in your top 5. Jalen Handcamp, Perrin Huggins, Tyler Curley, Tyrone Reed, and Brad Gutierrez rounding out your top 10. Kendorian Davis, the man back from suspension, Jacob Delgado, Skylar Comstock, Min Hang, Connor Rowe in 15th, Alex Tilley, Josh Cole, Jordan Powell, Ethan Burrell, and David Tucker in your top 20.
Little funny side note, Benia, who was disqualified for taking more than his allowed laps back, thought that the lucky dog meant he gets laps back, plural.
Oh
not
my
just
God.
The one.
That
So
sounds
we
so.
have
I gotta share some with you, Nate.
Yeah.
That sounds just as ridiculous. So we had a person that I used to work with, very short time where I'm working at currently, called in because they said that their son gave them heat stroke.
Their son, meaning their child,
Yeah.
gave them heat stroke, like a contagious symptom.
Yeah. Sounds pretty ridiculous, but definitely true and very, very memorable. No longer working with us. But moving on, Mike DeWalt, Nathan Fuller, Matt Albert, Jonathan Evans, Stephen Gurley, Perrin Huggins, Jalen Handcamp, Tyler Rowan Reed, Tyler Curley, Jacob Delgado. Your top 10.
I'm still stuck on he caught heat stroke. He caught it.
Yeah.
Like a cough.
Yeah.
I mean, the bar is low, and that man strolled into hell with a shovel. That is impressive. Mike took the inside lane, with Fuller taking control of the outside lane. I wonder how much teamwork is going to come into play here to try to get them maybe back in order. Right now, them as a whole team, if they work the team game here, they can get a really big advantage on this restart, possible final restart here. Looks like we'll be going green with 5 to go.
Yeah,
so there should be some high intensity
just about
racing
to mention as you were saying that, I realized it's 5 laps to go, and a lot on the line. Again, intensity probably rising. I know you can hear the comms. I can't. For the viewers' sake, we don't have that live. We've tried that. Not cool by any means. But this is almost over.
Yeah, it's definitely coming down to the wire, and there's great guys right now. Winning position here who need
Boys, if
the
you're
win
watching
to
videos,
get
you need
into
to
the
stop.
playoffs, or at least lock themselves in so they don't have to try to fight for that bubble. Let's see what happens here as a pace car starts to pull off.
Had to holler at
Whoa!
in case they're watching YouTube.
We have been extended. We're going one more lap. We are not going green.
Looks like they're going to extend it here 1 lap. I apologize if you hear me hollering. Trying to
So
keep
we'll
the
be
eyes
going
peeled.
green next time by with 4 to go.
That's crazy. I wonder what happened there.
I believe it was just the pack wasn't getting formed up. Everyone was lagging back a little bit, so RC decided to, race control decided to go ahead and delay it and make sure everyone gets where they need to be.
Take a look on back to see if everybody's all caught up now. That is available to be here, and it looks like they are. Again, getting towards the conclusion of this race. 4 laps from now, we will know who the Pepsi 200 winner is, as long as it stays a green flag racing. Again, on your front row, Mike DeWalt and Nate Fuller. Row 2, we have Matt Albert and Stephen Gurley Jr. Row 3, we have Jonathan Evans and Jalen Handcamp. Row 4 is Perrin Huggins and Tyler Curley. And rounding out your top 10, we have the 773 of Tyrone Reed and the 84 Carvana of Brad Gutierrez. Pace car lights are off. We are getting set to finish this one and hopefully finish it strong.
And we got Sand448 in the chat asking for a boogity boogity boogity.
I got it. I'm on it.
So we got to pull out our
I'm on it.
good old Jaws impressions here.
Hold on. I got it.
Pace car is off.
Mike DeWalt, Nathan
Fuller.
Fuller.
To go here.
Here we go. Green flag.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, you bunch of hot dogs.
4 laps to go. Mike DeWalt, Matt Albert, Nathan Fuller, Rocket Racing in full effect. Chevrolet's leading the way.
And it looks like they get forced outside. Let's see if they're able to hold on to it. The inside line seems to be formed up right now.
Jonathan Evans, Perrin Huggins, Tyrone Reed.
And we've got some movement happening here.
If you don't have friends in this situation, you are screwed.
Right now, it's all about working with who's around you. You got to make sure you stay in the draft and you're making the right moves.
3 wide with Handcamp and Curley. 3 laps to go.
3 wide for 6th there.
Jacob Delgado, RGR in full effect, hanging out there, trying to make a lane where there is none at the moment. Mike DeWalt and Matt Albert, 1 and 2. Nate Fuller in no man's land.
Tandem draft.
But I think the short term may outweigh the long term. If these guys get collected behind them, they are in a little bit of trouble. As you can see, the train is a-coming.
And Sand says, yeah, Fuller in an awkward spot. Definitely. And oh, I think that was a mistake from Rocket Racing right there. They tried to keep Fuller in it. And just, oh, man. Jonathan Evans takes the lead right now. They're going to shift up, block out Rocket Racing. They're stuck back in 5th through 8th there. Connor Rowe takes a trip to the grass inside. We're staying green here.
Jonathan Evans, your leader with 2 laps to go. Can we make it back to the start-finish line? 3 wide. Gurley and Curley getting squirrely.
A lot of movement back there.
Oh, Burrell! Comstock!
Another car down to the inside. That's Comstock. He's holding on to it down there.
Oh,
we got cars around. That's going to be a caution.
Oh, we got action. Maglia, Meyer, Condorian Davis, Michael McCammett. Michael McCammett just cannot get out of anybody's way tonight. No fault of his own, it looks like. Yeah, as you see action happening here all over. Jordan Powell in it. Maglia, Comstock. Yeah, it just got real quick.
A lot of shifting around, different momentums, different people catching some draft. And like almost identical movements from the 57 and the 75 there. They touched and then both just took a right turn, collected some good drives there. That is unfortunate. And we will have at least 1 overtime here in Daytona.
1 overtime indeed. I was going to make a college football comment, but I'm going to not do that.
Now, I want to just talk about for a second here. The 48 was pushing the 9 car, and they had a gap. They could have stayed low and controlled a line. They made the team decision to slide up, try to support the 24, who was drowning a little bit up top, which gave the opportunity to the 28 and the 8 and the 773 there to just make the run down the inside and ended up swallowing up Rocket Racing. So now the highest Rocket Racing driver is Mike DeWalt in 4th, being followed by Matt Albert in 5th, being followed by Nathan Fuller in 6th. So they basically just doubled their position and have lost a lot of their ability here to try to lock in, all because they played too much of a team game. So I wonder what the post-race debrief on that one will be.
Yeah, that'll definitely be something for sure. So as we're getting our first overtime here tonight, I think first of 3. Nate, you're the rules guy. You know more than I do.
3 possible, yes.
Okay,
so
3 possible.
If we get to a third one, it's going to end under caution if we can't get it done.
Again, if you're here for the Dynasty Team Draft, that will be shortly to follow. We're going to do post-race interviews, take a short couple-minute break, and then get right back at it with the draft. Again, I'm really excited. Hopefully, all the teams are present, and this goes off without a hitch, but I fear that it probably won't be that way, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah, there's no way everyone's going to be there and ready or have already submitted their team list.
Well, I do see 5 or 6 people in our Discord who have submitted their list, which I'm very thankful for. Again, I've got some plans. I don't know how it's going to work, but it's going to be a ton of fun. And I hope everybody is on board for the ride. And Rob Sock says, boo. Sand says, buckle up, Cowboys. Michael Racing 33 says, good job to whoever did that stupid move. Maybe talk to Jesus. I don't know.
I can throw out that RC has placed the blame on the 00 of Matthew Moglia.
Maglia.
So
it's
Maglia. I like to say things wrong.
Okay, I mean it's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
Look, listen, I am the man who walks into Mexican restaurants and asks for the quesadilla.
You say jalapeno, like you want some jalapenos.
No, that's a jalapeno.
That's even worse.
Yep.
That's even worse.
Oh yeah, you get some fun stares. It's hilarious.
I bet. Jonathan Evans and Perrin Huggins look like they're going to lead us off. Tyrone Reed and Mike DeWalt going to be in row 2 with Matt Albert and Nathan Fuller in row 3. Stephen Gurley Jr. with Brad Gutierrez in row 4. And rounding out your top 10 is Jacob Delgado and Tyler Curley.
Now, for anyone who is watching who's unaware of NASCAR overtime rules, we have a limit of 3. Real NASCAR has unlimited. That's kind of stupid on their part, but whatever. So overtime is basically we get another restart in. You take the initial green flag, you run 1 lap, you come to your white flag. The way we run things, if a caution comes out in that initial green flag lap, we will call a caution, we'll go to another, we'll re-rack them, have another restart, try again. If we take the white flag, we are racing it back, no caution. So the goal here is to just finish 1 lap without a caution, and then this race will be official.
I'm gonna drive and I'm gonna go fast and I'm gonna turn to the left sometimes.
That is definitely how some people are gonna work this.
Green flag.
Buggity, buggity, buggity. Let's go racing, you bunch of hot dogs.
We are right back at it. Jonathan Evans, Mike DeWong
There.
on the outside. Apparently couldn't hear half of what I said, but that does not matter. Our first overtime is off and running. Can we get back to the start-finish line for the white flag?
A lot of movement left and right, seeing if people trying to figure out if they can make a move or not. Mike DeWalt making a move to the inside with Nathan Fuller.
Is it too soon,
Mike DeWalt's
though?
going to take the lead.
Oh, Gurley making a move, bumping Gurley out of the way and putting him in the wall.
Gurley's in the wall.
And there he
spinning
goes.
behind. No caution called yet.
That is not a shocker, and they're going to keep it
Stayed
green.
green. He stayed green.
Controversial, but good
Eight-car
to see.
takes
Here
the
we
lead
go.
back.
Aaron Huggins leading us down for the Pepsi 200 final lap. Tyrone Reed, Brad Gutierrez on the outside line. Inside line, you see Rocket Racing galore. Matt Albert out of the picture now. Trying to make a last-ditch effort. Aaron Huggins looking good. Jacob Delgado to the inside. Will he get any help? Alex Tilley right there as well.
Delgado to the inside.
Delgado Tilley.
He takes out Tyrone. He's going to take out the field.
Takes
Perrin
out the
is free
field.
and clear.
Perrin Huggins is going to win number 2 in the number 8 machine. 3 cheap Pepsi 200 winner.
Wow. That is wow. I mean, I've seen some interesting wrecks before, but I think the 33 dumping literally the rest of that pack to just allow the 8 to drive away free and clear with it is kind of impressive, in my opinion.
And not to harp on race control because they've done a hell of a job tonight, but maybe not calling a caution there towards the end. I don't know. They were going in the infield, so maybe not a threat to the rest of the field. Who's to say?
At that point, I don't think it's about whether or not it's a threat to the field or a danger to the track. At that point, it's a situation where we have, within our rules, 2 cars who are losing all momentum and losing race pills. Because we literally had one car do a donut and one car nose into the inside wall. In my opinion, I think that is a missed caution, but at the same time, it's completely on the tower to figure out how we're going to end things. So we got to where we are, and race is official now, unfortunately. I mean, that's how things go. Perrin Huggins took the win.
Again, your unofficial results going above your screen. Perrin Huggins, Mike DeWalt, Jordan Powell, Nathan Fuller, Josh Cole, your top 5. Jonathan Evans, Stephen Gurley Jr., Travis Stroney, Andrew Sanford, and Logan Morris, your top 10. Again, we will be right back in just a moment with post-race interviews and setting up for next week at New Hampshire. Give us one moment. We'll be right back with you here on the Gears Cup Series post-race show. All right, we are back here for the Gears Cup Series post-race show here for the Pepsi 200. Again, on your screen now is the unofficial results of the Pepsi 200. You see Perrin Huggins, Mike DeWalt, and Jordan Powell with Nathan Fuller, Josh Cole, Jonathan Evans, Stephen Gurley Jr., Travis Stroney, Andrew Sanford, and Logan Morris rounding out your top 10. Again, thank you for joining me again in the booth tonight. With me was Nate Williams. I am Tom Torrey, a.k.a. The Horse Boat. We bring in Jordan Powell, the 57, coming home in third. Good night for you, Jordan. In a sense, in about 30 seconds or less, give us your thoughts on your evening.
Oh, man, I really do not know. I'm not into points or anything. Just out here for fun. I've seen them wrecking big time in turn 3. I mean, I gave her all I had, hoping for a win, but I'll take a top 3 definitely. That was definitely good, fun racing. Just cautions. Wish there wasn't so many of those, but not much you could control over that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had a good run there with nearly 30 laps under green flag racing to start the race. And then a couple bumps in the road, but some exciting, awesome action. You are the winner of $20 here tonight for finishing in the top 3. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I mean, I don't know. Tyler Curley, he's been my best friend. He's got me into this stuff. He's the reason I'm here doing this. So
right on.
Big shout out to him. So.
Right on. Big shout out to Tyler Curley. Jordan Powell, you are tonight's third place finisher. Thank you for giving us a moment of your time here on Casa de la Horseboat.
All right, thank you.
Again, that was a 57 of Jordan Powell with us here. Finishing in second, our pole sitter, number 9, Mike DeWalt. Not what you wanted, but a strong finish and a strong showing for the number 9 machine, staying out of trouble, especially on a super speedway of all racetracks. What is going through your mind here at the moment?
Well, first of all, congrats to Perrin on another win. He did a great job. But I feel like we kind of matched the car number. We had 9 lives tonight. Definitely stayed out of trouble. But definitely put myself up near the front most of the race, especially with the strategy there. Didn't come down and get fuel midway through the race, and that kind of helped to stay up there because we got enough cautions to save enough gas. But definitely avoided all the carnage, especially there on the last lap. That was kind of crazy. But yeah, just a good solid race, good solid points to stay in the playoff race. So yeah, and really happy to be raced with my teammates there.
Yeah,
I do have a question that I would really like an answer to.
Yeah.
Before that final caution came out, you were leading, Matt was pushing you. You guys had about 1.5, 2 car lengths there. The inside started to get a run, and then you and Matt made the decision to go up and try to pick up Fuller again. Why did you decide to go up and try to pick up Fuller in the top lane that was losing momentum to the bottom lane that was coming up on y'all?
That's a great question. I don't have an answer. It's just we wanted to stay together, and we wanted to make sure we had 3 of our cars together. But we don't have spotters in this, as you know, so it's kind of hard. We've never been in that position before, to be honest with you.
Was there no communication and just basically Matt saw it and started to move, and you saw Matt move and you started to move, or was it someone over the radio giving call-outs of, all right, let's go up, let's go down? Like, what was kind of that process?
Just kind of a split-second decision. I mean, me and Matt were in comms. We had Fuller and iRacing comms, so it wasn't as established communication. But, I mean, overall, we felt like we did a good job. We had a shot there at the end. But obviously, we had a lot of people on that last lap getting 3 wide. But, I mean, obviously we were able to avoid that wreck by doing what we did, so
sure.
It definitely ended up the right way.
Anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
Shout out to my dad. This is one of the few races that he's watched in a while. He even said something in chat. He is the DeWalt car. He's literally DeWalt car in chat.
Cool.
So that's my dad. But shout out to him for watching. And shout out to everybody that makes this league go.
That is awesome and very heartwarming. Number 9, Mike DeWalt, coming home in second place. Great finish for his playoff implications. Congratulations on a good showing tonight. Perrin Huggins, win number 2 and in the booth. Again, a couple of weeks ago in the booth, hanging out with me, having a wonderful time coming home the winner of the Pepsi 200 and a solid $50 richer. Perrin, how are you, my man?
I'm feeling good there, Tom, man. That ending was wild, man. What a race. I'm lucky to have had two teammates working with me there at the end, man. It was cool to have.
Oh, I think we might have lost him. You still here?
And some sort of interruption here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just making sure we didn't lose you. Perrin, you had a wonderful run, a wild ride, putting that 3G machine up near the front nearly the whole night. Again, teammates were helpful. Again, Mike had that privilege as well. Good finish by the both of you. Again, $50 richer. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to Tyrone Reed, man, aka Fly Guy Only, bro, man. He's the only reason I won that race, man. He shoved me and never left me, and I hate he got a wreck, man. And also shout out to Jonathan Evans. My goal at first was to shove him to the win and take a second place finish, but Mike, he timed that last restart perfect, so us two got split up. But yeah, what a race, man! I had a blast.
Yeah,
one final question for you here.
Go ahead, Nate.
I believe it was lap 24 or 25. You pulled off to pit, and right as you entered pit road, a caution came out. You were pitting all alone. What was the strategy there with you pitting alone? And then once that caution came out and you got saved, what was running through your head then?
Well, when I got saved, I was really relieved. I led that whole first run, so I had less gas than the whole rest of the field there, and I had to pit that lap. So yeah, high key got bailed on that caution coming out.
Yeah. Again, you guys had a great run. The Pepsi 200, in my opinion, a big success. Again, Perrin, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to everyone in the Wayland and Deal and Discord. All of them, man, they're awesome.
Right on. Again, thank you so much for joining the program, and congratulations on win number 2. Hopefully you're sticking around because you're involved in that college football here shortly. But again, enjoy this evening. Hopefully you tie one on.
Yes, sir. I'll be there. Bring it.
All right, and that's going to wrap it up here from Daytona. Again, the post-race show. Again, Gears Cup Series, Gears Racing League, Pepsi 200. Big shout-out again to Jonathan Militia and Mike DeWalt for sponsoring this and putting this on. It has been a huge success, and many more here up ahead. Next week is going to be New Hampshire. Get ready for that. Hopefully, you all will be there. I will be there as well, ready to go. For Mike DeWalt, Nate Williams, Perrin Huggins, I am Tom Torrey. Up next, in about 5 minutes, you're going to see college football Gears League style. Thank you for joining us. Good night.